Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Good day to you. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Redverse. Demons up, Amanda.
Bridges.
Ah, that's a
Look at this
weird.
shit from Dion Dublin here. He talks some balls. I mean, he talks balls when he's selling people houses, but he talks even more balls when he's talking about football, and theoretically he was a footballer. Fuck me.
I think that answers Redverse's question.
What question is it?
I'm wondering if Gary will have his Liverpool's results from the weekend as his backdrop tonight.
No, we've got this as Anfield instead. It's important to remember where you come from.
Well, I have a feeling, hello Orinoco Twitch, Denzin, that I done well in bringing myself a proper drink today.
Not hitting the hard stuff, staying off the Hitler juice.
Yes.
Makes sense.
That would have gone horribly wrong today. Hello Ewok Kebab. Welcome Dutch and then Lee. And then now just for the pouring of the fluid.
Look at that go. That's awfully fucking pale.
It is, but it's very tasty.
Jesus, that's pale. I mean, that's not dissimilar colour to my piss. It's probably got roughly the same alcoholic content, to be fair.
It's Klostergold hell.
Legend indeed. Legend indeed. Always a fan of Dutch. Always. So, Sláinte. So the Russians downed a US drone in international waters.
Uh-oh.
How long do we think it's going to be before some shit kicks off there? You can't even say it was an accident. The two Russian fighters were apparently tailing it for 30 to 40 minutes before one of them dumped a load of fuel over the top of it and the other one clipped its propeller, forcing it into the drink. So now we see who's the real clever person. Is it me with my large amount of lead, or is it you cunts with your iron leg metal? I've got plastic miniatures. Whose house is more fallout proof?
To a degree. Hello, Rumbly 8 Collins.
Just roll them all over me.
It will take at least 3 more drones. Well,
the lead angels.
We'll see.
It's all good in the hood.
Demon Sub is painting a lead mini right now, and Bugger Off is welcome.
It's what nature intends, isn't it? I've got my drunk Space Marine sitting here.
A drunk Space Marine?
Yep.
I think that I thought that it was a possibility because they have some kind of weird organs that filter out any poisons.
Yeah, it's only an impossibility whenever GW retcon shit. No, he's a drunk Space Marine. He's probably. I was going to paint him as an Ultramarine because they're lightweight fucks who can't hold their beer.
A bit more global warming, and you have lead lind roof. Yeah, probably.
That's fine. The lead actually, I think, has a higher melting point than white metal, the tin alloy they replaced it with. Not by much, mind you. You're talking degrees. But if you put them in the pot, the white metal one goes first. So it's all good. All good.
Where do we start?
Well, I thought we'd start with the completed project. Because they're so fucking rare. They're as rare as hen's teeth.
The Night Runner has done his Zona Alpha Club donation.
Yeah. He decided to dump a load of minis that he wasn't planning on painting or playing with himself on his club, but it would be unfair to hand him a load of unpainted stuff. So he converted, he painted, and put together an entire set from a variety of manufacturers. So you can see Reapers there, Mantic Ghouls, Mantic Dead Zone bits and bobs. So when it was finished, there was just a big box stuffed filled with things, all painted up and ready for any games of Zuna Alpha that people may want to play. Started it last year. And
I love the
less
little
than a year
cowboy
later-
hat.
Oh, you'll see them painted later on, because like I say, that this is done, dusted, complete, beautiful thing. Um, same campus Ultra Brains. Oh no, don't want to be a lightweight. Uh, don't worry. Oh, they're terrible, just the worst. But it was really nice to see somebody just going, look, I want to put together a finite box, because obviously, like a lot of these games, you can just keep on adding and going wherever. But it was just here's my way of plowing through all these bits and having a box at a club that people can dive into if they fancy playing it without having to worry about sourcing the models and putting the shit together themselves. And I mean, it's such a eclectic mix of stuff as well, from the sculpted cowboy mutos there through to the I'm pretty sure are the old cyberpunk miniatures later on, because I have a few of them kicking around here, and I'm going to get around to painting them any day now, honestly. Not. I'm fucking, they haven't even got primed in 30 years. They're not getting painted. But yeah, it's just really nice. Unusual little project, and I enjoy seeing the bright poppy colours of them all. They're screaming off the deep end ridiculous. Look at those things coming at you. Pig whippets. You know what's happening when you hear a oink oink squealing behind you.
Oh, look, a rock band of sorts.
Well, yeah. Rockers. I'm pretty sure the one on the far right was like a Netrunner type.
I think
with the pink hair.
The one next to it looks like a classic roadie. Could be played by Jack Black.
Could be. I almost watched something with Jack Black in it recently.
Let me guess. The Mario movie.
School of Rock.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't watch it, but I came close. It was like, I've never watched that before. And then I watched him trying to introduce himself to a class as Mr. Smeebly or something like that, and I just gave up on it. This is horseshit. I'd rather watch highbrow content like something by Adam Sandler. For fuck's sake, comparison. But yeah. Yep. It's good.
Interesting, weird terrain you build.
I keep hearing this Ewok, and I keep seeing quotes and stuff from the film, and I'm going, that sounds like some sort of feel good. I can't. There's a speed bump to getting into it, and I can't get past that speed bump.
Maybe just skip forward.
Well, never say never.
Start the movie at the 30-minute mark or something.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about how he got there.
He's there, the kids make music,
Yep.
all fine.
Might go back and rewatch Combat Academy instead. It was a school movie that we'd all appreciate.
I totally got caught off guard today as on some weird podcast talking about movies, somebody gently mentioned Suburban Sasquatch. And I was, okay, I know that movie, I've seen that. Why do they reference that movie in this context?
Why would they not reference it? Everything should be, I mean, if you're not going to reference it because you're referencing Petey Wheatstraw, I can understand that. But those are the two touchstones of our modern society. And to be fair, somebody in the House of Water, #BestHouse, referenced Callum Wilson was doing something. And I immediately defaulted to the footballer. It's like, really? Why is a footballer? I didn't know Callum Wilson was into playing Lord of the Rings using Star Wars Legion. Or vice versa, combining the models from Legion and the rules from Middle Earth. So there you go, yeah.
That's an odd combination.
Well, not really when you think about it, because Middle Earth is all about heroes doing heroic things and then dungers running about and taking all the shots to the head. So it works very well for Legion, and you don't need to have a fistful of tokens for every model. So
yeah, that's true.
Right. Did you not get that, Collins? Oh, that's right. It was you. Yeah. Callum Wilson he used to. Sorry, just in the cunt scrolling text. How long has that been there?
House of Rejuvenation. Hashtag Craig Vacuum.
Crack vacuum.
Whatever.
It's like a joy sponge, sucking all the fun out of the room. Anyway, but yeah, so I just thought it was amusing that Callum Wilson is into his miniature wargaming, and I choose to believe it is him. Anyway, yeah, so just a really nice project. Like I say, what's that? 5, 7, 3, 10 months. 10 months to get it all done, but done it is a complete game in a box for any at his club what wants to play that Zona Alpha thing. It's all just there.
Yeah, that's it's always nice to have something to just pull out and plonk on the table.
I really must paint my plague. Just when I see all his plague there. I keep seeing my dog Skip talk about his plague.
Plague.
Look, there's even Shub Nigra there. Actually, it's not. It's one of the Dark Young, but I can't remember what they're called. Might just be Dark Young. Might not have a special name. It's been so long. I must go back and reread Cock.
Pull out, plonk on the table. Oh, matron.
Just slap your toys down and everybody can have a rummage about in your box.
I'm not going to ask what that all means. My brain's just not ready for that.
No? Anyway.
Let's go to the next project, please.
Next. Nuts. Whole hazelnuts. Fliboy.
Got busted.
I'm not saying he's jumping in, muscling in on the
button?
The bust bandwagon. The bust wagon.
The busty wagon.
But also decided to do something a bit out of left field and paint up bigger scale. I went with this Krieger. Kriegly Wrigley. Krieg Jewel.
Slow internet is slow today. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what the crack is there. I'm going to presume it's Germany. Slowing you down.
In doubt. If in doubt, blame the internet.
Yeah. Because for once it's not the website, which I mean is weird, but it's not. But yeah, it's interesting seeing people's takes on bigger models.
I'm wondering, is this somehow an official model?
No, he lists where you got it from. You got it from one of those thingy cult verses or something. Krieg Bust 2000 follower reward from cults3d.com apparently.
Because what irritates me is that you have very many print lines on the plinth, but the miniature seems to be.
No, I mean, if you look at the left or right side of the head, you can see them on the helmet. No, actually, literally on the left or right. You know, not the front. You're still on the front.
Ah, I see.
There you go. It's like a big fuck off fingerprint.
Yeah, but the base is way worse. Which is irritating because that's a simple geometric form. You could just smooth it and sand it and make it nice.
Hug it and squeeze it and call it George.
Also that.
Yeah. I quite like I like the fact that Fliboy has decided to go out and do something a bit bigger. I'm not sure what's going on there. Because it looks like a rev counter where it's into the red at the top end, whereas I would have assumed it would have been red on the left-hand side as your oxygen runs down. But maybe that's not what it's for. Maybe it goes some other way. But there's some interesting things they've tried. Things like the bluing on the metal of the las gun, from where the pews have made it heat up and go discolored.
Yeah. I was looking for, or rather, I was browsing for something like that. But
fishing for saplings down at the school?
Nothing that really piqued my interest.
Maybe it's a rad counter, but it's plugged into his gas mask. Maybe he's left-handed. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Could be just a filter.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Maybe it's like the Rocketeer. He's got the little dials to tune in his rocket pack. Oh, Rocketeer was amazing. Should go back and rewatch that.
That's one movie that's still missing on my watch list.
Oh, I'm not
for
talking about
some
the movie.
reason.
I'm talking about the 1930s TV serial.
Mm.
It was fucking amazing because he had the little things. The Rocketeer in the movie didn't do as much radio tuning.
Yeah.
He just had a clicky thing in his hand and a
and
fin
one
for
more-
a head.
While on the subject of blah, on the subject of TV series and episodes, I was recently trying to watch not Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5.
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
The only way you can watch it in Germany is either buying a horrendously expensive DVD set.
Yes.
I'm talking 400 euros.
Right, that seems excessive. I've got it up there. It's got all the movies and some novels and shit in it as well.
Yeah, that's the one.
400 euros. I'll sell you
you-
mine for half that.
Or you can watch it on Amazon Prime on the
Yes.
channel of theirs, including advertisements. So
Right.
You've got a 30-minute episode with 4 ad breaks, each 80 seconds long, unskippable.
Nice.
It's horrible.
It's like watching it in the old days, man.
It's worse. In the old days, there was 1 ad break.
Oh, not with us on Channel 4.
Well,
Because they were 45-minute episodes, and so you had 3 ad breaks to push it to like close to the hour, then, and then your final ad break would be before the next show started.
that didn't go on here. The time
But weirdly,
channel set for advertising is highly regulated.
weirdly, B5 here in the UK on Amazon isn't available via the medium of free with adverts. You just buy it by the season or episode.
That's even more worse.
So again, not for me. I have them all on video and I have them all on DVD. I'm fine.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a search thing on eBay set up later this evening to grab me
Alas,
some.
it doesn't have the original. But Deben, I'll tell you this, since we're talking. In the roof loft, I found some videos that I'd recorded B5 off of Channel 4 in the 90s, and they were listed, Series 1, Series 2, blah, blah, blah. They're not complete, though. But otherwise, I do have some with the original 90s adverts.
I have something similar. I've recorded the complete Star Trek Next Generation from the 90s from German television.
Wow.
So all including all ad breaks, which is
Good old Star Trek ting.
if you look at them now, you it's so cringy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's...
And to be sub, I left I have a working video player and I also have a working DVD hard disk recorder, so I technically could just record them all. But I can't be asked.
It's the way of things. It's the way of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, Flaboy.
Fliboy.
Nice looking warrior of Creek.
I'm hoping he tries a few more bust things out and practices some, because some of the effects, when you inflate them to bigger figures, they look less realistic. So the bluing on the weapon, for example,
Yeah.
I'm sure that would look spot on a whatever fucking scale GW thinks they are these days. But on a big bust, it's very stark transitions between them. So that might be one to just try another bust and try a few more techniques on. Maybe try a bit of wet blending.
Or
You never know.
maybe airbrush.
Hola, Doug.
Hello, Doug.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
So where do we go from here?
Well, anyways, down. That's what they tell me. So we do this in case Cookie swings
Oh,
by.
look. Mr. Cookie Skater's anniversary.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
So David is doing his little ass creeds.
Yes, there is apparently an expansion coming out. I think there might have been a news story about it today, but to be brutally honest, I'm on holidays this week drinking, so I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh yeah, you mentioned something about St. Paddy's Day coming up?
Yeah, so it's Paddy's Day on Friday, so you just start drinking early, work up to it. Otherwise, it's like a runner, you just can't go out and do a marathon tomorrow. You need to fucking train. But
It's not like you're not training constantly.
Yeah,
like a good marathon runner would.
But yeah. But then I'll double down on Wednesday. Thursday's obviously a rest day, and then you go for the run on Friday, fucking full hog. But I thought it was interesting. If people haven't seen this, obviously there's a bit of painting going on in there. His plan isn't to paint everything and not to play any scenario with stuff that isn't painted, which is why it's not a particularly fast project as far as it's all getting done. I'm working on some to play a game, and then I'll be working on other stuff in the background, as he'd say himself if he was around. So he's not constantly working on this just to finish the Assassin's Creed. However,
a forest of letters, and they're all crooked.
They're board gamey plastic, so they are what they are. If you don't want board game plastic letters, you can go buy yourself some better ones and replace them all. But I think at the stage where you're replacing board game components, you should probably have a long, hard look in the mirror. Think, maybe it's time to get outside.
Nah, I'm pretty sure I'm fine.
Because board gaming, as we know, board gaming is the worst, and the people who board game are just terrible people. So
there's the guy who just was on a video 2.5 hours long playing a board gamey type.
Yeah. Do I own that board game? Do I fuck? Sun is a deadly laser. But that's all right, because now there's a blanket, so it's fine. But I thought I'd highlight this for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, he's gone back and he's uploaded another Let's Play. But also, I know people like this game, and like the computer game it comes from. Maybe they were not aware that there was a game, and the game, obviously they had some at retail. Presumably when the Kickstarter goes live, you'll be able to pick up the original bits. So it's an opportunity to have a look at it before chucking money at a Kickstarter. Triton Noir, despite being French Canadians, are really nice people, and they seem to have done some really nice games. No, Doug, Walking Dead is not a board game because it's good. It's how we know it's not a board game. It doesn't have a board or anything. It's a playing mat / gaming table.
Welcome to the Unofficial Hobby Hangout, where we throw definitions at the wall and see what sticks.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, he's going a long way here.
Oh yeah,
he's playing the long game
on the game as well, which is really weird. I played the game when it first came out, like I think many people did, and was immediately appalled and annoyed that it was some sort of RC genetic memory time traveling wank. I'm going, I just want to play an assassin running about in the past killing things. I want all this other hot garbage, so I give up on it immediately. But I do remember them saying at one stage that they took a crossbow out of one of the sequels or one of the expansions because it wasn't historically accurate, whereas today they've got people going to Atlantis to fucking fight the fishmen for the Spear of Destiny and stuff. And you're going, oh, I see we're still really pushing the historical accuracy of your Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, historical accuracy in a game where the protagonist is just laying in some weird chamber and doing semi-accurate time travels.
Sure, whatever. Anyway, if you're interested in Assassin's Creed, definitely check out Warbust's videos so you can see how it goes. And if you've got the money and you fancy getting the thingy thing when it hits Kickstarter, at least you'll have a clue what's happening.
Redverse Warren is consulting on historical side, I hear.
Oh yeah.
in conjunction with ChatGPT.
Very much so. I think that's exactly how that works.
But Mr. Johnson, we hear you're an expert on Late Romans, could you have please look at our game and explain what we have to do here?
Oh, could you imagine? Could you
Yes,
imagine?
I can.
Oh,
And it gives me nightmares.
speaking of historical accuracy.
Blood Virtus.
Blip.
Pokey sticks.
Virtus, as you so rightly say. Still working on his Clash of Spears. Some more macadamia nuts, pike, and some other bits and pieces for Clash. He's gone with pigs. I think the original scenario called for sheep. Nice to see how he's changed things up a bit. You know, it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. He's a geezer. He's a geezer.
Isn't that cheating to some degree?
Well, I mean, it depends whether or not your opponent's coming at you with elephants and whether or not you've greased them up and set them on fire. But yeah, it's quite nice to see the supplemental parts, shall we say, starting to come out. So he's not just got his macadamians for Clash, but he's starting to work on some of the other bits needed for scenarios, and hopefully we'll see other bits and pieces coming down the line for the likes of there was a solo scenario against Celts, and also some siege scenario type things as well, so I'm hoping to see more of that in the future. But at the moment we're just getting the continued chat of Bradicles and his brothers.
That's a lot of spearmen.
That's not enough spearmen. Macedonian pike is like 216. Is that it?
All those lovely magnets in his base.
Didn't help them when the companion cavalry charged into them, though, did it?
Not really.
They got shot right up. I really like it. I like the
barn
narrative.
Needs a new haircut.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be grand.
Long hair hippie.
You get a good idea of how the game plays out without going into the minutiae of the actual command and control and resource management with fatigue and that sort of thing. But you can see on the table when people have pissed their fatigue up the wall, that's when people get fucked over, because you know that unit really should have been in a position where they were in tight formation, and when the companions charged, should have got a face full of peelum and fucked right off. So
shame that picture is so tiny.
Tiny picture. Well, you'd be frightened too if a load of Greeks came at you with those massive pointed purple spears.
I think the color is more scary than the pointy bit.
I think Doug once Warren's asked Army Painter and Warlord or whoever else he's talking to whether or not they want to supply a load of stuff for us to do it. I'm still trying to work out the actual fucking forces for the Boyne, which is a right bastard and no mistake.
This is a long-running project, is it?
It's been going for a little while, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
I've been paying attention to it.
Where we left off,
you know.
in December.
Yeah, you know. He's constantly doing stuff.
Interlude on samurais.
Yeah, I wonder whether or not that person's got Clash of Katanas. You never know. You never know. Clash. I don't know where I've put Clash, but I've got Clash. It's not up there with Clash of Eagles and Clash of Spears, which is a shame because it would have made sense for me to put all three books together. So it could be fucking anywhere. Yeah, not see it anytime soon.
It'll be fine. It'll be somewhere in a box, and at some point in the future, you will open a box looking for something completely different and go, "Oh, there it is."
Haven't decided what rule set we're using for the Boeing yet, Dave. Warren wants it to be something that looks spectacular but could be brought to cons and run, which means it can't be a good system because they tend to be involved. So it'll need to be a very simple system. Either take a simple system and strip shit off it to make it even more simpler, or make one.
0.40k.
Oh, Jesus, I just sicked up in my mouth. I think it's safe to assume it will not be that. I came
How
close to
much
actually picking
magic
up.
will be used in the battle? All of it. All that was available at the time.
Oh, you laugh, but
No, I'm
LBB
crying.
has to talk him down from adding magicians casting fireballs from the deck of the fucking flotilla that Chat GPT told him was there.
Oh, that was just the best. Land boats.
Sure, these are things that may as well exist. I suppose. Good team.
Saga with fuck all magic, yeah.
Oh, you know. Weirdly, I came close to buying muskets and tomahawks today, wondering if I could use it.
Doesn't one-page rule have something simple for that?
Does it? No. One page rules is, I mean, I've not looked at the fantasy one in enough depth, but I don't think it goes into the whole point is you've got musket reloading, so are we going to use that? I mean, really you have to, because if people are firing every fucking turn, it's not really musket, you know.
Not even a well-trained musket should be allowed to fire every round.
Yeah, it defeats the period. I mean, black powder might actually be something we could use. Though I refuse to buy another edition of black powder because I really didn't bother using my first. I do have.
Manda suggests sharps practice.
Fuck right off. I'd rather smash my penis with a hammer than play sharps practice.
Is it a not so good game then?
Oh, like all the Lardy's games, anything that requires me to roll for movement can fuck off out of town. Fuck that. Here's my shit not moving for the entire game. Fuck that.
Yes, Crispin, we just discussed penis.
We did. No, I've got something from a Dutch games designer, which probably, well, I don't have his pike and shot rules, but I've got his Ancients in World War II and Colonial Warfare. I do know he does a pike one, and it's like a stripped down version of black powder for running big games at conventions with people. So that would probably work.
Oh man, that sounds like a proper way to
make
a game. Just throw the mini, the dice at the mini.
Ludo Belly. That's the rule set. Well done, Dutch. Penis Hammer would be great, though. Penis Hammer the old world. Just dice at your opponent's penis.
It's a great acronym. POW. Penis Hammer Old World. POW. Best.
So you say that, Denzin, but if each of the men in a unit became a stand, would that work? Like I say, I don't know because I've never played Muskets and Tomahawks rule or their subsequent versions. I never played the old one, although I do know people who did. But the whole point of being like one of a million Space Marines and everybody's fucking Space Marine and everywhere you look are Space Marines just seems pointless to me. They used to say people would go their whole lives without ever seeing a Space Marine. To some, they were fucking mythical. So I like the idea of being like a trash collector or a dunger. It's more like Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Yeah, it's like what was I going to say? Jeebus. Playing Star Wars role-playing game and everybody wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah, that type of thing. I was thinking of Lily Banners. I've heard good things about it. So,
War of the Roses is
War of the
getting
Roses would
mentioned.
be too early.
What about what's that thing Pete always plays? Baron's War.
Again, far too. I mean, you're talking 500 years out of date. So, so no. I mean, I need to speak to Warren and see what his idea is, because he might have a completely different idea of what he wants people to be doing. I always think of things like this as when you're getting to that scale, it's more about the command and control rather than rolling buckets of dice or doing something woo-hey. So it's about where people move to and how they move them. So also I want to try and include average dice, because I love average dice. They're a great set of dice.
I'm thinking Nomad has a problem with this on-screen keyboard. He's a bit shouty. No worries, we all curse here. It's all fine. It's all good in the hood. And you, dear audience, watching this later on YouTube, if you have any idea on what rule systems Jerry and Warren could use, put it in the comment. I'm sure they'll never read it.
Ideally one using average dice, or I'll change it to average dice. So any game that removes the opportunity for me to roll a 1 or a 6 is fucking great. All the average all the time.
Should we go on to a next project?
No, not 20-sided. Why would you do 20-sided? 20-sided are horrendous.
Because he likes chaos.
No, whatever it is needs to be. Yeah, well, like I said, I need to talk to Warren.
So
because there's no point in me deciding on a rule set and then him going, it plays very realistically and it makes sense for the period, but I'm bored. Because you need to have something which is the equivalent of keys jangling in front of a toddler for Warren to keep him excited.
So this is a very interesting project. I'm not sure how that managed to fly under my radar. Yes. Oddball the diorama or something.
Yeah, well, not a diorama. This will be used in games of bolt action. He picked it up on a whim, but it's not a diorama piece. It's just a different. I was going to say a Firefly, but it wouldn't be a Firefly for the Yanks, would it? But anyway, yeah, it will be a gaming piece, which is why when he lost one of the pieces and had to scratch build, I think, a front lamp out of a ball bearing and a bit of plastic. It's like, well, it would look shit as a diorama, but when you're playing a meter away, you don't really notice that I've had to hodgepodge that. Also, word to the wise, if you're building something with a lot of resin pieces, don't do it on a grey carpet, apparently. So.
Well, that's advice to live by.
Justin still in hospital currently, so still not dead, as Granny Weatherwax would say.
I'm getting better.
But yeah, just a really simple little thing. But I like how the tank has come together with all the additional stowage and the like on it.
Yeah.
The stolen street signs and shit like that down the side of it. It's all good.
I love the this just built picture where you can see what additional pieces go on a plain old gaming tank.
The thing about that is, because that's a resin cast, I think Warlord have swapped over to plastics for most of theirs now. So I think that's only resin simply because it's got all the extra stowagey bits on the back, specifically because it is oddballs. So, I mean, you could do your own. I don't see why they don't just do a load of fucking stowage in a blister pack with the metal figures and just let you customize your own, but then I suppose people can't be arsed doing tank rigging up the side for all the pouches and stuff.
Next on Jerry Can, tank rigging.
Tank rigging will fuck itself as well. Oh, you know what's really annoying as well about that rigging? Because I spent fucking days doing that camping thing, and I had 2 cameras set up, and one camera was looking at it square on. So when I come to do like the rat lines, I spent ages making sure that you could see what was happening from the front camera. And then when they edited it, they never used any of the front camera footage at all. I was like, you fucks, I could have saved myself so much time and effort and fucking hassle, because the amount of times I had to retake things because I realized when I looked behind me that my hand was blocking the knots and shit. And they just use like the easy top-down camera and you can't see any of the knots going on, which means I've got a ton of extra footage that I might put up on my own channel of how to fucking tie knots in fucking rat lines for
and then
fucks.
make it a video loop and just title it 10 hours of rigging.
Use BattleTech rules for recording damage to each piece of armor. Or character sheet for each of the 60,000 combatants of the Boyne.
Oh god.
I mean, you know, why not? Could be worse. See who can first to get critical damage on Schumberg wins.
And yeah, Collins, I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons for his absence.
What, mister? I don't eat fruit and veg. I fear anything that hasn't been bleached uniformly yellow or battered. I'm sure none of those things contributed to a massive heart attack in his early 30s. We've all told him. We've all told him. We bought fucking sandwiches from Subway at UKG last year, and they all had some form of like salad on them. It's like, just pick off the salad then. Oh, I can't eat it. It's, you know, no. It doesn't fucking affect. It's not poisonous. We're not all about to die because we've eaten something with a bit of fucking lettuce and tomato on it.
Oh no, green stuff is in my body.
It's like some sort of fucking gremlin. If a mogwai touches water, it fucking pupates and all the rest of it. Likewise, if vitamin C enters Justin's body,
He implodes. Wow. Seriously, Justin, get well soon and try to look after yourself a bit more.
Smoke, just smoke. I hear the smoke fights away the invisible biting demons that cause your wounds to turn blue. Just
What?
that's how that goes. 12 hours of ASMR cursey knot tying. Tell you what, there was a lot more 12 hours of fucking swearing at that fucking thing.
Yeah, so do we have another project on the shelf? I think we have.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Bonix Jasper nicely. Or historical would be an interesting one. But again, it doesn't do the command and control thing, is the only problem. Although it is an I go, you go, so you don't really have to worry about shit going on. I'm pretty sure they had rules for
Fantasy Battle 9th Age, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that steam tank somewhere before.
Stank! It's pronounced stank. Yeah, so this obviously could be used for War Hamster, Kings of War, or the 9th Age. He's chose to use it for the 9th Age.
Presumably, motherfuckers.
Presumably because there are people in his life that he doesn't like and he wants to shoot them templates. Finally got a steam tank and then they nerfed it in the 9th Age. I had 2 of those somewhere. Metal bastards, and I've no idea where either of them are. They can't have been swallowed up. They must still be about somewhere. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, so Umbra's been working a mix of the very, very old and the very, very new, because he has things like the Warlordy plastics there, as you can see, doing the Lord's own work. Look at all their pretty colours. All the colours all the time. I swear I know that guy 4th from the left in the crossbow regiment. That face is too familiar and too human-like compared to some of the others. For him not to be a person.
Looks like this Jesse James fellow who did have a TV series on, I think, MTV about making cars.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. Could it be Sean Ryder from Black Grape? Can you ambiguate him more? Use chat. ChatGPT is already bad enough at telling him what was going on there. I swear to God, he reminds me of somebody. Answers on a postcard, please. Who is this cunt with the little soul patch? Anyway, it's been an ongoing, ever-expanding chunk of stuff containing the sublime and the ridiculous. I quite like the wizard, which is actually a rat catcher. It does look like Sean Ryder. I'm not just imagining that. Here's DD. And his mounted caricature as well.
Hello, defective days, welcome.
Jimmy Cricket. Come here, there's more. Doesn't look like Jimmy Cricket. That's a terrible thing to say about anybody who isn't, suffering from an additional chromosome.
Engineer with a big shooter.
No, that's I'm trying to remember the name of the repeating pistol. What was the repeating pistol? Von Meinkopf's Whirling Cavalcade of Death was the Hellblaster. They all had special names. Anyway, yeah. Repeating pistols were fun. And even things like the Imperial Guard, which obviously would be some lovely defense for two-handed weapon-wielding elites in any army fit to print. I really want to see this all laid out, though.
Yeah.
The fact that he's gone the whole hog and actually just went every fucker's getting different colours, like what they should. So it's not quite a whamsterism, it's more historically accurate.
I think that's a thing most project could use more of. If you're nearing completion, make a big picture. I'm sure the wife won't be angry if you use the kitchen table for one night just to make a pretty picture.
Yep.
For us old farts to look at.
It's good times. Good times I had by all. Interesting thing is, after this, you start hitting earlier stuff, and I don't know if the earlier stuff used as much contrast, because there's some that definitely look like they've had additional highlights on them, or maybe it's just a artifact of the photograph. Could it be that? Maybe they don't have the additional highlighting that I'm seeing. The blue and green stripes on the guy on the far left of that picture you're looking at,
Yeah,
definitely looks like he's got additional highlighting on some of the pieces, or I suppose shading.
or maybe he did the priming in a different way for some of these.
But yeah, they're lovely, lovely looking people. Look at them.
It's gorgeous. Now we need a large picture and a battle report.
Oh man, could you imagine? But not 90-age battle report, because I don't want to top myself before the end of it. Well,
well, it's his mini, so he can play any game he wants.
I'm sure
unless
he can,
it's
but I
not
just don't
9th
read
age.
90-age battle report. It's just how it goes. I read the 9th-age rulebook once. Oh.
You still haven't recovered, have you?
Oh, got so bad I showed it to Justin. He had a heart attack. Look at this description of charging. Holy fuckballs.
Oh man.
It's just so bad. Oh, it's deliberately made for a bunch of people who don't have any friends. That's what it's made for. So, the 9th age, we know you're tournament players. We know you'll never have outside friends or family chatting to you for any length of time. So here's how to charge in 17 easy steps and 23 hard ones. It's just, It is exactly like that, though. It's how do we make this less ambiguous? Because Warhammer was too ambiguous in some steps, because it was never made to be a tournament game. And you do it by adding so many rules to it that a rules lawyer would look at it and go, it's a bit much, lads. I'm wasting the precious gift of life that's bestowed on me by an unknown creator here, reading your fucking rules.
Could be worse.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. Could be played Age of
Imagine,
Sigmar.
imagine someone doing a boot camp, an OTT on 9th Age.
I think we came over once to talk about the Ninth Age before I started working with the guys. I mean, the people behind it are probably lovely, but
Effective dice, not gonna lie, you're kind of selling me on 9th Age.
you should
Well,
you should go for it. Let me know how it works out for you.
if it floats your boat, well, have at it.
You can get right in there.
We'll be looking at the next project, I think.
Yeah, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. We should probably do that. This one is those crons.
He
By that
doesn't
fella,
look so happy.
Dark Egan.
Fortune
It's
a
an unusual
dynasty.
Yeah, it's been dug out, shall we say.
Revived.
Last update was 2021.
Oh.
So getting the band back together, so to speak. Now I'm expecting more updates on this because we all seen him type how fucking bad it was putting the flayed ones together.
Oh yeah.
and I'm expecting lots of lovely pictures of flayed ones.
The flayed ones were the ones with the skin residue.
I always used to say the flayed ones were their infiltrators, and they thought they looked like humans because they would have bits of skin draped over them, and they couldn't understand why people kept running away for screaming from them.
Yeah, so those are minis that are not in the, what's it called, Indomitus box, so I don't know how they assemble. The Indomitus box Necrons went together rather okay-ish.
Sure they did. But, and I mean, he's there, so you can skin in 2 easy steps, 2 oil paints. Oh, nice. I look forward to seeing that. I like the fact that he's brought in some of the Age of Sigmar 40k supplement stuff. So the, whatever he's called, I was going to give him a stupid name, but then I realized if I give him a stupid name, it'll probably still sound like a GW name. Is he an Osiarch Bone Reaper? Is he one of those? Anyway, so yeah, the fantasy Necrons from the fantasy 40k supplement. And I mean, he looks like he just fits straight in there with the others.
The flayed ones, however, horrible little shites to build. Never again. There were more expletives than Gary watching Liverpool.
You'd be surprised. You'd be absolutely
I wasn't
surprised.
going to say I wouldn't bet on that or make it a contest of sorts. I'm pretty sure I know who would win.
I mean, I don't swear that much. Sometimes I threaten.
There's a thin line between threatening the audience and just cursing.
Well, it's threatening the TV. The general air around me.
Man yells at roof.
That type of thing, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Build flayed ones, then we'll talk.
It's a 228-page rulebook for the Ninth Age, because I just had to bring it up there just to see how bad it was these days. And that 228 pages is all rules. There's no fluff or anything else in it. All fucking rules. Oh no, hang on, there's a bit of fluff there now. After you hit page 185, you get some fluff. So your rules are up to page 185, and actually I'm telling you a lie, because then at the end you've got probabilities and psychology start off at page 214. So there's a little tiny layer of fluff sandwich with the army lists.
They needed some filler.
185-page rulebook.
They needed some filler to get the appropriate amount of pages so that the printer would work perfectly.
No, because this is all based on fantasy. This is all free. You can't print this shit because GW come and hit them with a fucking hammer.
But would they?
Literally, fuck yeah. I don't know how far they've strayed since the old days, but because I know at one point they were trying to make themselves more distinct from Warhammer, while at the same time still just being Warhammer. But yeah, no. Why the fuck is somebody on a round base? Keep them on squares, you cunts. Sorry, I just said page 22, a fucking round base. Fuck me. You deserve to die for that. Anyway, so yeah.
Interesting little project addendum. Looking
imagine
forward
there's gonna be
to
tons
see
more
the
stuff.
painted versions.
Sorry, I might have been a little bit ranty there, so I may have missed a bit where you told us what the Ossiarch Boom Reaper was going to be with your Necrons. Is he going to be like a Catan? Started before Chris went. Wow. That's right. I dimly remember that now, actually. Way, way, way fucking back.
God, that is it so long ago?
It's a little bit while, yeah.
Been a while.
No, because that's not Soundgarden. That's not anything. Don't even bring them up. Move on.
Ninth Age sounds more horrific than those 80xx economic board games we got kicked out of a room full of them because we're actually enjoying the game. What?
Just search for the Ninth Age. You'll be able to see the rulebook and all the subsequent ridiculous books.
He'll be some kind of lord. He wasn't intending to have flayed ones, then I saw that model.
Oh, so they're only there as an excuse to have him because he's got the skin skirt on. And otherwise he'd look ridiculous if he couldn't accessorize with a little group of minions.
Also, his legs would be way too skinny without that skirt.
Mm.
Would look weird. Never skip leg day, not even as a Necron.
Creepy.
I'd rather put my models on square bases than play Ninth Age. Why wouldn't you put your models on square bases?
It's the only sensible way to put anything on anything, ever.
Shall we move on?
It's how nature intended models to be.
Metal at square bases.
Let's.
A Look of Everything by Shao Xiak, 1984.
Sure.
Shao Xiak?
If you say so.
Oh. If I say Shao Xiak, that's almost...
Say it 3 times. Winnie the Pooh comes and steals your data.
Now it's almost like
nice.
Zauzak, which is a polite little curse word in German.
Oh, nice. Abomination onto Nuggin. I don't think they are. No.
So this is... what is this about? This isn't Battletech. This is...
No, this is stuff.
Oh, heavy gear. There's it.
So there's some heavy gear blitz, but there's also some GWisms and other bits and pieces. We've not been here in about a year. Last time we were here, they were getting all into the Battletech and some Custard Marines. So revisiting this, gone a bit chunkier. I keep forgetting heavy gear exists sometimes. There's so many other mech-based games. Every time I turn around, there seem to be more and more. Bot. War.
At some point in the future, I need to make a proper jingle for that.
Well, you can get one if you go to YouTube and search for the channel Map Men. It is just the Map Men intro, but I've changed Bap Men to Bot at War. And you'll see exactly where I got it from.
A nice little paint job on these yellow mechis.
Yeah, it seems to be. I don't want to say typecast, but they seem to have enjoyed painting yellow so much on some of the SPAC Marines that they've got stuck in a sort of "I'm going to do yellow all the time" styling.
Maybe there's some kind of muscle they pulled and now they can't paint anything else but yellow.
Well, it could be that. I do remember I want to say it was the front cover of the Heavy Gear rulebook had a load of mechs in that yellow black with the red and white sort of stripings on it, or if not, it was very similar. So anytime I think of Heavy Gear Blitz, I always think of big fuck off yellow mech anyway.
That's an
Oh yeah, Madman's
interesting
great.
flying machine there in the background.
Not done anything in ages though, which is a shame.
Interesting setup.
Although I did keep an eye on the fellow's other channel, Unfinished London. It's very good as well, and at least there's been some updates on it.
Theme for Bot War should be You've Got the Touch. I think maybe not.
Touch me. I want to be dirty.
Dirty.
Oh, Crispin, before you arrived, he was telling us that other people were referencing Suburban Sasquatch, the second greatest film of all time.
Yeah, some podcasts mention them, and I was really irritated. Mostly because I knew what movie that was and they were referring to.
I imagine they're probably avid viewers of this, and that's where they picked it up from.
Oh,
that makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah,
Yep.
In the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's either us or Red Letter Media with their 2 million odd subscribers. And which is more likely? Bunch of people from Minnesota? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so.
This is just, yeah. Nice work on those heavy gear stuff by Jean-Jacques.
Yep. Heavy Gear's really nice. It's interesting to see what people have just in their collections sometimes. Fertling away in the background.
Yeah, it's almost like we have too much choice.
No, I don't think so. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. See, Ash Barker announced that there's going to be some sort of supplement for steel riffs today that's going to be at Adepticon. Once again, I'm not saying it's because we talked about steel riffs in the weekender, but I imagine that's probably where he decided to.
Is Adepticon this weekend or next?
I don't know. 20-something-ish. I think next week. It wouldn't be over St. Patrick's. Why the fuck would they do over St. Patrick's? Well, I suppose, nerds. They're not going to go out and enjoy themselves with real people, are they?
Nerds.
As well.
Nerds.
Nerds.
At some point, I might work on my impression of
Homer J. Simpson.
Well, let's get on with it.
Yes.
We're going.
Gamma Wolves. Yeah, I've got Gamma Wolves, which is similar but different. So it's always sex with someone you love, Crispin.
Yeah, that's true. And who knows all your favorite spots.
But there's sometimes, there'll be times when you're lying in bed and you shouldn't, and you've already done it 2 or 3 times. And it's just torturous. Nothing's coming out. You just get to the point where you feel like foaming the rape crisis line on yourself. So please, I've got to stop.
It's like this pie chart of why men masturbate, and then there's a third because I'm horny, and the rest is, well, I was under the shower and cleaned myself, and while my hands were there, why not?
That's the way to do it. Way to do it. Anyway, miniature brushwork. Doing a lot of moderny things.
I'm wondering, have we been here before?
Yeah, I have. Have you?
I'm not sure. The tags look hauntingly familiar. Cthulhu and Cobra Kai, and can't make out the left one.
I was bored. Makes sense. It's very much how that one goes. Captain Chaos.
Captain Chaos. Isn't that the famous character from Cannibal?
Might be.
I forgot.
I would have hoped for Captain Caveman, but you can't have everything.
Captain Caveman.
But yeah, the 50mm moderns, I quite like the additions that they've done to the likes of both the tanks and the Humvees. There are little bits of green stuff to do additional detail. Pardon me. Or, sandbags reinforcing around the window frame. Or the presumably 3D printed things in the baskets to add a factor of stowage to things. It kind of makes me want to watch Generation Kill again.
But having 50... Are you sure this is 50mm, not even smaller?
Yeah, because they're Flames of War bases, so those are definitely 15mm.
Jeez. I'd hate sculpt green stuff at that point.
Ah, you say that, but why would you not?
Because I have a life.
They've taken their Kevlar and stretched it over the doors to give them additional armor on the Humvees.
Oh, look. A Black Rider.
Yeah, we're less interested in that. I mean, anybody could buy Black Rider and paint it.
This is just Ben bait, isn't it?
No. Are you saying Ben just trolls the project system? Like fucking Gollum looking for the ring?
My precious.
Actually, that is fairly accurate now I think about it. I take it back.
And also big pictures with Lloyd shots. So this is almost guaranteed gold button if Lloyd and Ben get to see this.
Oh, they won't, because I'm not working this week. It's up to him to find it himself.
Maybe this is one of the rare occasions where Ben is actually looking from the shadows.
So he does watch this to keep an eye on me, make sure I'm not just brand damaging the otters or whatever. I say maybe, who knows?
I'm pretty sure nobody thinks that you're damaging anyone or anything.
Oh, I don't think anybody pays attention to what I'm doing. It's easier that way. Look, just don't talk at him. He'll eventually get bored and fall asleep. That's how that one goes.
Yeah, that's already a nice project. Mr. Miniature Brushwork. Keep at it. Keep going.
You didn't even get down to the 100 Years War stuff.
Well, we were there once before because it's already marked.
Just saying, you didn't get back down there.
Pretties. All the pretties.
Look at the pig-faced bassinets. Everybody's favourite helmet. Well, actually, it's not, because Sally is my favourite helmet. But I mean, a close second is the old pig-faced bassinet. I think we can all agree, after the Sally, great-looking helmet. You can go now. I'm done with it.
Do you need a minute for yourself?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Anybody watching Because of Dragons just to see if he's damaging the DD brand? No. He's much nicer than me. I'm much less likely to do anything massively offensive. I think we can all agree on that.
Also, I think on any video I've watched
Pretty
from
sure that's where the biggies came from.
He never ever mentions OTD.
No.
It's like he's ashamed of working there. So Ugleb is doing a train terrain, but different.
Choo-choo, motherfucker. Choo-choo. Yeah. So
it's not Thomas the Tank Engine.
Might be.
No, it's not. I know that project. I've seen it.
You don't know. In the future, there could only be
just Thomas.
Thomas. But, I mean, we've all seen it in Han Solo, a story about how he got his staff. And
the Han stuff
such memories. That is the name of the film. The story of how he got his stuff, how he got his gun, how he got his clothes, how he got his name, how he got his ship, how he got his fucking best friend. Jesus, what a fucking piece of shit that was. So much potential, pissed up the wall. Anyway, so Choo Choo Puff Puff for Legion. And some Scatter Train they like to go with. A quite like it because it definitely has that shitty backwater feel. And here's our sort of hover train hovering around like a train. I was rewatching Mandalorian, the one with Bill Burr in it, where they had to take their explosive fuel things back in without getting exploded recently. And this put me in mind of that. Big,
drive faster.
Fuck off industrial machinery to transport shit around the planet. Nice chunky bits of kit. So the repulsor chain's particularly nice.
In the first episode of the third season, there's a nice, huge walker again, a civilian version. I like those the most.
Is there spoilers?
Yes, there is. It's just in the background, like in the first season, the one in the harbor.
Oh, okay. Splashing around.
Yeah, basically just legs walking around doing stuff. No major appearances.
Major appearances.
The train really does look nice.
The repulsor train's fucking gorgeous. You will see him uttering Lloyd's name in vain, mind you, later on. I say, in vain. He does talk about the train platforms and whether or not he needs more of them. I was like, did I just trigger Lloyd with the T word? It's like, pretty sure you will have, yeah.
And the only thing that really puts me off of this is the obvious print lines, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the only reason I bring these things up, because I know it'll annoy you.
Yeah, that's your main goal in life, annoy me.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Look, there's the Lloyd's trigger. Modular terraces. Good train platforms. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Excuse me. The Wages of Fear episode, yes. Good old Bill Burr. It's a beautiful setup.
Yeah, it's very coherent in its way, its styling and the looks of it.
But it reminds me of, what was her name? She had eyes on her like fucking a Satsuma. Masamita, was that it? From like the sequels? Where they go in to visit her and she's got Luke's lightsaber. And it has that sort of the greystone buildings with the banding on it and the occasional little flourishes of civilization and technology, but the rest of it looks like it could have come out of some sort of Lady Hawk fantasy.
Did you just say Lady Hawk?
Yes. Why?
How in hell does your mind wander from Star Wars to Lady Hawk?
Lady Hawk's fucking awesome.
No argument there. Still, how do you make that connection?
Because if you take all the sci-fi bits off it, you just use it like Lady Hawk or like Deathstalker or something like that. He always wants the Anslush.
I mean,
always.
It's such a good film. I've actually owned that on DVD and I've watched it multiple times.
You would do. I mean, why would you not? It's got Rutger Hauer in it. So I watched it the other day. Oh yeah, we discussed that already, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Beastmaster, also nice.
Rutger Hauer playing Abraham Van Helsing in the Dario Argento Dracula. It's fucking great. It can not have been an old film because it had lots of shitty digital effects in it. It's very good. Anyway.
Yeah, Aglip, nice terrain piece. Keep at it.
It's all good.
I'm almost thinking the stoneworks remind me a bit of like Nepalese architecture. So I'm seeing snow in this. Yeah, in Indian high mountains.
Oh,
snow, yetis.
I'm with you. Nepal.
Yes. That's the region I'm pointing at.
Yep. No, 100%. We're on board now.
Nice.
I got distracted by the nipples.
Nipples?
Hey, you said it. I didn't.
The only one mentioning nipples is Crispin.
That is true.
Oh, look, I've seen this before. This blue thing. Big Rim,
Yep.
what is he doing?
It's another I was working on shit a year ago and I've come back to it project. So I thought I would shake the tree for people who weren't here the last time around. Back to the Legion.
Some
Like
nice
there's
assassin
approach.
droids, some Magna droids.
No,
and a
Crispin,
command.
there's none of that. Yeah. Presumably we were here before. See, this is the problem. Whenever I'm here and I look at things, then I occasionally will tick the boxes, and then that just distracts me whenever it turns out we haven't been here with you. But there's several fully completed armies, pardon me, which are really nice.
Oh, look, a golden patine.
Yeah, got one of those. So you can see the whole kit and caboodle from previous armies to expanding or even doing terrain via the medium of cheap toys. So there's been a lot of work gone into this to begin with anyway, and even a little tournament midstream, mid-table, mid-project.
Mid-project.
So I like seeing all of that. So it's interesting that they've come back, obviously, as Legion's on its way out and about to be killed by AMG.
At some
Replaced
point
with
in the
Shatterpoint.
future, you'll be true and I'll be cursing at you for it.
Will they wait till after Adepticon? Maybe they'll shop at Essen and just sell everything at fucking rock bottom prices.
Oh, God.
Like FFG did before with X-Wing.
Have you
piss
seen...
off everybody.
I was completely flabbergasted. Asmodee is pulling a weird promotion right now with X-Wing.
Right? No, I haven't, because I don't pay attention to anything Asmodee do.
So the advertisement goes, buy core set, get a YT 1300 and another medium-sized ship for free.
Holy
That's
fuck.
Yeah, but the image shows the core set, an X-Wing, a Darth Vader tie, and the two medium ships you get for free. And if you read the text, it says, buy the core set, 2 X-Wing and Darth Vader's tie, and get those 2 medium ships free. So it's very weirdly worded.
Yeah. That is peculiar. Although I'm still fairly certain a core set, a couple of X-Wings and a tie are still substantially cheaper. Or sorry, more expensive than... Because the two medium ships must bust. I mean, it's essentially it's half price, surely. Unless the prices have changed massively.
The single fighter ships are roughly 20 each. So that's 60 euros. And
60.
the medium-sized ships are roughly 30 to 40. So if you... It's a saving. But only if you really want those miniatures.
Well,
It's odd.
maybe they're hoping there's going to be an upswing. Maybe all of a sudden, after several years of people just drifting away from it.
Oh,
having
thanks
pissed it
there,
up the wall,
Ewok
come
Kebab
back
for
again.
gifting. Oh, Dak Dunnigan, have fun.
Don't encourage him, Ewok. Don't encourage him.
Dak Dunnigan, do report on how you find the current iteration of the rule set if you're playing at 2.5. Well, it gets nicer after wine. It's my curse. Oh, yeah, I know that problem. So, where do we go now? Where do we go now? Where do we go?
Oh my God. Why would you even do that?
Where do we go? Ow, ow, ow.
Conan!
Zoipned.
I was hoping that this was a deep dive project into Conan O'Brien, late show comedian and talk show host, but apparently there's a game. Who knew?
And I always thought he was called Cohen.
Different barbarian.
Ah, okay. See, my mistake.
This one's much younger. Look at that guy.
It still has
Play
all
with
his
You're
teeth.
just flicking his nipples. See that?
Did he?
Good.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yep, definitely. He's just there going, be gentle.
Oh, you could try to kill me. Oh, that's so sad.
It's like pre-ordering games. Conan O'Brien is an Irish legend. Yeah, he's not the only Conan I know as well either, which is weird because I'm fairly certain it's not an Irish name. And yet the only people I know in the world who have it are connected in some way to Ireland. So anyway.
I think besides Conan O'Brien, the only other Conan I know is actually this comic book figure.
I there used to be a young lad, probably about Justin's age, when I used to live up in Belfast. He was called Conan. He was part of our gaming group.
And did you tease him with Conan? What's best in life?
No, there was no point. I mean,
Spitter.
Some things are wasted on the young.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, this has been an ongoing speed painting-y effort from Zoid Pinhead to get the Monolith Conan board game painted, which is, I mean,
Hey,
there's a lot going on.
Do you get extra points for knocking out the camel?
A camel with a glass chin, by all accounts. So presumably that means it's got fuck all in the way of stamina or armor. If it goes down like a Taiwanese hooker.
Uh-oh. I think the page is starting to act up.
Still pretty sure that is
Bone Golem.
It's probably Germany. Check out those camel too. Clear square bases. I mean, if you're going to put anything on a base, a nice clear square one is the way to do it. So you can see what angle they're facing towards when you put them in. And you just go, oh, he's slightly askew. Am I attacking him in the rear? You don't know. Circles, just the worst. The worst shape.
I like the Bone Golem.
It's one of these. I mean, I'm not sure when Conan came out because obviously they start off doing all the Mythic Pantheon stuff with Mythic before they split. Then they did Batman as well and Conan at some point. I think they may have reprinted Conan at one stage. But they're these. You can only get them during the Kickstarter because they're too ridiculously big to ever go to retail, and so you generally end up with so much that it's more than one lifetime worth of miniatures. So rarely do people ever bother their backside completing the board game. They just get fed up with it after a while, and or then just sell it on. So it's nice to see somebody who's decided to actually paint the fucking thing and play with it. I mean, it's a work on mad, really.
That's an interesting miniature.
Yes, that's her either just about to wrap herself up against the weather, or what we can't see is some massive angry bull just off to the left.
2015 is when Conan came out. God, that's ages ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, but there you go. That's not bad. That's isn't it? I mean, when you get right down to it, it's under a decade to start hammering into it. I'm positive it got a reprint though. Unless 2015 was the reprint, in which case, holy shit balls.
Oh, before we go on to the next project.
Still haven't opened yours. Okay, right. So 2015 was the original Kickstarter. So there might be a more modern one. Who knows? What have you got?
I've got my Kickstarter from Heresy Miniatures and the
Oh,
ghouls in Seocast.
Seocast.
And what irritated me at first was the miniatures are as exquisite as always, but the sprue gates have 3 print lines.
Just on the sprue gates or on
Yes.
the miniatures?
No, just on the sprue gates.
Well,
I'm
makes
guessing
sense.
it's from the machining of the.
Yeah. Why would you fucking clean? Why would you waste time?
Yeah,
Especially because he's had to
I
make
know.
2 sets of these.
It
Why would you
was
waste
just
time removing the 3D print
it was
sprues?
just a shock removing them from the bag, and the first thing you touch is the big sprue gate, and it already feels like a 3D print. It's oh god, no, please. But then looking at the miniatures, they look fine. They're gorgeous as ever.
Well, here's hoping he can stay in business for a bit longer.
Well, he managed to get his living situation sorted. He's moving house this week.
Yep.
So here's hoping. Also, he's one of the few single-person miniatures manufacturers I can actually still order from, even though not directly, because Battlefield Berlin is carrying his stuff. So I'm not charged with any VAT after the fact, which is always nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Folklore the Affliction. It sounds like something from White Wolf, like Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse. Folklore the Affliction.
I need to waste money. Buy ships for Star Citizen.
Dungeon Saga Origins is due to launch on the 23rd, unless they've changed their mind.
And the BattleTech Kickstarter is launching at Adapticon.
Oh, no, must be 21st actually, this day week, because it's Tuesday generally. Battletech, that's right, they're doing a new Kickstarter with like tanks and stuff and tiny people. I'm looking forward to Dungeon Saga Origins. I want the Twigletkin.
Do we want to go on to the next project then?
Yes.
Good idea. Good idea.
Like Gloomhaven written by one-page rules. Interesting.
So, how does Heresy Night Lords by Fifth God's Mode? Whatever
Could
that
be.
name means to be.
I imagine there should be a comma. Fifth, comma, God, comma, smote. As in, it's the 5th one they've punched in the face. When you're smitten, you're smote. Anyway, may or may not be Scarhand, because it links through to Scarhand's Armada stuff later on, or his blog. But regardless, interesting little project to begin with.
Who is Scarhead?
If you go further down, you'll see a link. He does hobby blogs, really fucking big into his Kings of War Armada, but does a lot of other tutorials and painting as well. He's really good. It's very annoying. I want to say he's Polish, if memory serves. So there's explaining how to stick the things on and do the stuff with the bits. There's the skull and stuff. Look, how to make ripped cloth.
I think you're correct on Poland because his contact information goes to Poland.
Oh, well, there you go then. I couldn't be arsed scrolling that far down.
Scarhand painting Kulecha Machi, I'm guessing. I'm sorry for butchering your name.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Of course I'm not.
Not at all. His Armada stuff is fucking stunning. If you're interested in doing any boating games, it's worth going and having a look at his Armada stuff, because the terrain is fucking gorgeous. I feel like stealing a lot of his ideas and then just passing them off as my own, because people won't know who he is. Where are we? Probably resin. What? Oh, how he scarred his hands. That makes sense. That's what happens when you're trying to straighten things out in boiling water, though. Eventually, you're going to burn yourself. So, it's the start of a Force 4. I believe it's a Horus Heresy by a company called Game's Workshop.
I'm pretty sure that's James' workshop.
My apologies.
As in GIF.
That makes sense. So, it's just starting off putting together and doing the detailing on these fly-by-night bat people. Look, with bat wings and skulls and stuff that Lloyd loves so much. So much. Loves it so much.
But does he?
He does. He really does. He often says there's nothing I love more than armor that looks like it's been specifically batted up.
Batman!
I want more of that, please. But
I'm guessing the helmets and additional pieces he uses are all aftermarket parts from somewhere else.
it does say in there where the shit's been up to. So I think some of them are actually Forge World, if not all of it. It did list it somewhere saying where he got the shit from. Third-party Night Lord bits. No, he didn't list it. I must have
The new
whenever I was
Forge
go back.
World resin cars are much better than the old resin.
All right, so it's a mix of both. Some Forge World, some third-party. Good luck finding them. But it's just putting together a little Zone Mortalis set, which I believe is one of the games what comes out every so often from Games Workshop before being ignored. Get in there, work on it quickly.
Yeah, buy now, pre-order, you may get it, and if not, well, tough luck.
If you can't get it from your local game store because we haven't sent it to them, why not come and buy it from us so we get all the money? Anyway.
That's one of the worst things they've ever done.
It's classic move if you're looking to increase your revenue.
Our Ewok Kebab is on a bit of a horror trip. He's playing Silver Bayonet and but prepping a ton of terrain for Ferret Watch.
Wood.
Woodchuck wood? Chuck wood. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to the have they announced the 2 new Silver Bayonet books that are coming out this year?
Even more books?
Maybe. Unless they haven't announced them, in which case Silver Bayonet, that's interesting, isn't it?
Given that you can't have too many minis. We've established that on this show from the very beginning.
Yep. 100%.
You can only lack space, but you never can have too much.
Oh, they've announced them. That's okay then. Because I was told about them last year, and so I can't remember when they're saying. Castle Fear is coming out for Transylvania. Because I want to do something dungeon crawly for that. And then Ash Barker's writing Canadia for the Canadians.
Canadian Kniggets.
Yep, leaning into Canadian folklore. So you can do your sort of Silver Bayonet, but being attacked by Leshen or whatever they have in Canada.
Leshen?
I don't know.
Amazon has pre-orders, says Orinoco Twitch. So I'm guessing then it's official.
Don't be so sure. I remember listening to, well, in this case, yes, I'd like to imagine so because I was told about it last year. But I remember listening to an interview with Gav Thorpe, and he was talking about his Crown of the Usurper novel, which was his first non-GW based book, which was just going to be his own fantasy world. And the bloke he was talking to was going, first part of a trilogy then, and Gaz was going, might be, going, they're already up for pre-order on Amazon. And Gaz is going, well, I haven't even decided on what the other books are going to be and if I'm going to do them. Going, oh, no, all 3 are up there. They've got names. What the fuck are their names? So somebody, either the publishing house or Amazon, had just decided it was going to be a trilogy and just made two generic titles based off Crown of the Usurper, and then it was like Crown of the something and Crown of the something else.
Placeholder graphic.
And I honestly don't know, because that was on the Bad Dice podcast when I used to do Warhammer fucking tournaments. So that must be nearly 20 odd years ago.
Oh,
I don't know if he's ever actually, if that's even a trilogy, if those other books ever came out. I'm having to look it up now. Just when you say it's on Amazon, therefore.
While we're on the subject of ex-Games Workshop employees, has anybody from the audience watched the nice recordings of some bloke called Adrian Smith? He's doing nice painting on YouTube.
I watch his YouTube channel. Yeah. Crown of the Usurper, the Crown of the Blood, Empire of the Blood. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, August 2012 for that one. So yeah, it does look like they actually released the books in the end.
Yeah, I've been watching Adrian's videos, and I love the art he's making, but at times I feel like his left hand never lets go of that vape. It's always clinging firmly in there.
Hey, you know, you've got to do something with your life. Fish bite hooks. Adrian smokes vapes. He has another YouTube channel because they're doing something based on. He made a game. It was released by Cool Miniature, not the website for judging people's miniature paint jobs. Correct. Called Rage or Hate or Angry, and it's got a spin-off channel because they're actually going to do something live action around it.
He mentioned some movie.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago, but it has a separate channel. So if you want to keep eyes on what's going on there, it's not going to be on his illustrating channel. It's not going to be on Adrian Smith's channel. You've got to go to the other one.
Ewok Kebab, same name, different guy, but yes. There is an Adrian Smith in Iron Maiden. Which gets even more funnier because Adrian Smith Artists uses Iron Maiden fonts for his thumbnails. So yeah.
It might not be called Hate, but it's something. No, it's Hate. Yeah.
Hello, Harry is loving rusty spoons.
Adrian Smith.
Don't call us humans. We're all weird people here.
Hate Works.
Nerds.
Is that it? No, that's fucking 10 years old. It's not that one. Apparently, he had a separate Hate channel, and it's not that either. If you want to know more, find it yourselves. I'm going to fucking spoon feed you because I tried and I can't be arsed. And I have too many subscriptions for me to find it easily.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Once you crack the 3-digit subscription list, it's just getting irritating
Rusty
to find
spoons.
anything.
I don't have rusty spoons because I use Spoon Guard. Spoon Guard.
Spork?
This cat was exposed to spoons. Spoon Guard.
This is getting weird, is it?
No, it's not getting weird. Have you never seen Spoon Guard?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, you're so random.
Oh, why did you do that, Harry? I mean, I get the slippage on ice, but why hurt your hand? That's a nice thing to do.
Presumably attempting to prevent nose from being smashed. Put a hand out in front of you. Get wrecked.
Well, could be. I've seen Iron Maiden on the same stage, but it wasn't technically a room. Wow.
It's a beautiful dream, though. Spoon Guard.
Well, let me tell you a little horror story. I'm out.
Yes.
Empty.
Not bad.
Zilch.
Don't worry, I've got plenty.
Oh, that's good for you. But I've got some licorice in the kitchen.
Oh, you bastard. Nick left licorice up at the studio, and I've been nibbling on it. And then they were going, "You're not going to bring that bag home?" It's like, no, because I'll fucking hammer it before I get to the station. It stays here so I can occasionally consume small amounts of licorice just to keep myself topped up.
Also, it keeps your urge to kill someone down, I guess.
No, that's always simmering along. See, stop his face from sliding down a pebble dash wall. I mean, nobody wants face grating.
No, not really.
It's a terrible type of grating.
That's the episode title for next week. Nibble on my licorice.
Not to be confused with nibbling on Nobby's nuts. You ever nibbled on Nobby's nuts? Why are you laughing? That was the advertising campaign for Nobby's nuts.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing funny about it.
No, it isn't.
Who says you Germans don't have a sense of humour?
And I drive myself to ruins with that. What does the little guy say in English? I only know the German term for when he sells himself off. Oh God, I can't even remember the name.
What does the little guy say? Who? What?
Cutthroat.
Cutthroat. Oh, Debler. I'm cutting my own throat. That's hence Cutthroat Debler.
Because in German he just goes, and I'm pushing myself to ruin with it, which is a wording.
Right, but not actually funny.
Yeah, because his nickname is Ruin, so ruined.
Oh, right, okay.
So they did a translation on it. It gets the point across. That's the
well, you know, sure. You do you, yeah.
And with that,
it was Pratchett's death day 2 days ago. If memory serves. Was it? What day is today?
Could be
14th. It might have actually been yesterday.
Remember the name.
Yeah.
So Pratchett. Yes, Nick. Actually, Captain Caveman was on German television at some point. Nice work. Nice work.
Captain Caveman. We discussed Captain Caveman earlier.
Captain Caveman.
Yeah. He got it in everything. It's very good. It was a hands across the barricade moment, Nick, where we all shared a little laugh and a joke that both myself and Tim understood a reference. It's good. It's good times.
Doesn't it happen often? I admit. I'm a
Teach
slow
me Ninja
learner.
Turtles, Harry. Ninja Turtles. They were hero turtles in the UK, apparently. Which is really fucking weird.
Also in Germany.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
Because of odd regulation and stuff.
Because they didn't want people to go out and become Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Jill, have you seen the...
One of the local guys at our gaming club in Korean animated the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, cool.
And the raccoons.
Terry Pratchett got an award close to his death, and he got his acceptance speech read out by
Sir Tony Robinson.
Yes.
Baldrick.
Which is a coincidence that I would have never imagined. It's so heartbreaking to see that man just go. And if you want to see some real heartwarming stuff, go find the video where Pratchett is revisiting an orangutan he met years before.
Oh, on his Borneo trip?
Yeah.
Have you seen the documentary where Dennis Pennis plays Terry Pratchett?
No, I have.
Oh, you need to go and watch that. That's very good. It starts with Terry revisiting his early life, where he was at school, how he ended up with his lisp, because he wasn't born with it. His little accent when he was a kid.
Oh, okay, that's actually a good call. Tony Robinson should have played Corporal Nobbs.
That would have been spot
on. But can you imagine him dressed up as a city guard and between takes just go, I have a cunning plan. Oh, they could have gotten. They could have done such a great job with Night Watch as a TV series.
It's called Pratchett Back in Black. You should go and find that.
I will do so.
You'll have to borrow it from the Internet Lending Library because apparently the BBC took it off the iPlayer.
I'm pretty sure I'll manage somehow.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's really good actually. I appreciate the new Terry Pratchett book coming out this year.
Yeah, and they also do re-releases of the audiobooks for some kind of reason.
Sure, but these are short stories and stuff that haven't been published before or were published years ago.
I remember reading about that. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing whatever the fuck batshittery they are. Some of his short stories were great.
Oh, have you read? I'm not sure how the title is in English. It's about little carpet people.
It's called The Carpet People.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Good. That's.
I think there was The Carpet People, and then there was Truckers, Diggers, and Wings. Was the last one Wings?
Yeah, something about flying.
I still have my claim to fame is the fifth elephant next door that says, "To Jerry, thanks for giving me all my ideas," which I got him to do in Belfast at book signing.
Oh, Trollbridge.
Absolutely fucking off my nut when I did it. It was great.
The Trollbridge is not only an amazing story, it's also an amazing short film.
Oh, by the Australians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly the only good live-action Terry Pratchett adaptation.
Well, Hawkfather is okay.
Yeah, if you say so, Governor. I've not bothered. I seen one or two of them and was like, I can't even be arsed finishing these. I managed to sit through all of Going Postal with Lena before she read the book, just so I could go, this one offends me the least, and I still find it very offensive.
I think the Hawkfather is actually the best of the live-action ones.
It is.
Yeah. It's most true to the source material.
It's a low bar, to be fair.
Yeah, the animations are quite nice with...
the Aardman animations were great. Thinking of with Saruman. The man with the golden gun. Scaramanga playing Death. He had a real name. It may have been Christopher Lee. Bolt action US Marines to make Horus Heresy militia. That'd be interesting. Have you seen the new Space Nam Catachan looking fellas from
yeah. War Games Atlantic.
Chunky fuckers. They're good. Like these. They'll be an unboxing come whenever I finish unboxing them and come back to work. They're quite nice.
Yeah.
They just changed the nature of voice. They changed the nature of Reacher Guilt so much, and the character. He went from being this big, rambunctious, flamboyant, never annoyed, always smiling pirate to being evil Hercule Poirot, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the Hawkfather is a better one.
Just gonna be arsed.
It's got old man's little problems, and the god of of hangovers.
God of hangovers. The god of hangovers.
Yes. Right.
There's Mr. Stockwell. I found a load of your projects that had fuck all in them. JMS. Not saying I was very annoyed. I'm just saying I was in your stuff looking at your things and there was nothing in there.
We need to make a special edition with only
where
projects.
I just go through people's private projects.
Yes.
They don't want people to see these. That's fine. Yeah,
and only you can look at it and just describe the pictures.
Describe what I'm seeing.
So yeah, that would be interesting.
Oswald Paul also did Danger Mouse and Dracula. Count Dracula.
Yeah,
Right.
Joe, that's true. You can just stick to the books, which are
Oh
fantastic.
yes, definitely stick to the books. Much better. 100%.
Read your Cohen trio books.
I'm missing
is
one.
nice.
I need to fucking sort that out. I'm not sure whether or not MicroArt Studio lost the license or if something was happening. Because all of a sudden, all of the Discworld miniatures became incredibly difficult to get your hands on.
I'm sure they're still selling them.
In which case, they may be changing something because all the metals disappeared up their own arse.
I seem to remember that they wanted to change them to plastic, so maybe they just need to retool all the models.
That could be it, because I buy a lot of stuff off Discworld.com, and they removed they didn't just go out of stock, they literally took the unavailable ones that they didn't have an inventory off. So it's not like we're getting them back in again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like they all vanished. And business daddies had a restock expected since last year. So thankfully I'm only missing one figure out of the entire range, so at some point I'll find Lord Downey and his peppermints and fucking buy him. So it's all good. It's all good. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
What miniature are you still missing?
Just Lord Downey. That's it. I have everything else. It's called Bag of Peppermints.
Because
I'm into the
looking at the
Tuesday.
site at MicroArt Studios, there's a fuck ton of miniatures.
Spaghetti bolognese on a Tuesday. No bones.
Sergeant Fred. Arnold Sideways, Coffin Henry, Duckman.
As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. There's a really good Pratchett book for cat people out there called The Unadulterated Cat. And I read it in a library years ago when I was a kid, and I've never seen the fucking thing reprinted. Somebody did all the illustrations for it. And there's a lot of Pratchett's cat quotes come from it. But it's just about a cat owner owning a cat and how cats are bastards. So, but without saying that, because it was for kids.
So
anyway.
Is this the one you're lacking?
Does he have a bag of peppermints? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So this is...
Okay, because it's only one, I'm not worried. Even if they did go away and they lost license, somebody would stick it up on Fleabag at like 50 quid and I'll go fine, because I only have to buy one to complete the set. I don't really care.
Well, it's $9.95 at MicroArt Studios.
Get a 5 out, you bastard. Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. So yeah, they must be changing material. They must be dumping the metal and going to probably COcast. Let's face it, everything's going to COcast. Did you see the picture I put in the Discord?
With the
Warlord resin machine.
There's just one letter missing.
Yeah, it's missing like 3 letters have been scrubbed off it.
Yeah, it's soap. It's spelled soap.
Metal. Sweet metal.
Well, that just...
they've retooled them for resin. If it is just a nice hard quality resin, I don't mind that.
Metal would be
Tim
better.
again. Tim's been trying to end the show several times now, Jill.
Yeah,
and you keep talking, and it's distracting me. He's stuck here now. With no
I'm
drink
just-
either. Not even any of his Hitler juice.
Sure. Bye.
That's his Geordie LaForge impression. Do you like it?
But that would be even better. But
See?
I just called to say I love
Geordie
you.
LaForge sounds nothing like that.
But the other blind man does.
So it's only 2. Geordie LaForge and Billy Ray Cyrus, probably his name.
Well, I'm going to cut you all.
Yep.
Cut you all
Sounds
off.
like a plan.
See you next week. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Tatty bye.
Bye.